$50,000 for one single Bitcoin. This is, of course, beautiful to see for the bulls. And what can we expect right now? Are we blasting right through that $50,000 on our way to the next resistance level? Or does Bitcoin need some time to cool off? And if you want to jump into the altcoin market, is this the best time? If yes, which altcoins are still relative cheap? Let's take a look at that. In the meantime, like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. There's a Patreon link down below for exclusive content, private deals, influencer wallet tracking, etc, etc. So do check it out. But at the moment of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $50,035. We haven't seen this level in a very long time. The last time we were this high was actually in December 2021. So we haven't been here for more than 2 years. And now the question remains, are we going to go higher or do we need some time to cool off? Well, first of all, if you look at the logarithmic regression band, one thing that kind of stands out to me is that we are now getting to this mid band of the lower band, right? Of the green band. Now, this whole green band usually is still a buying territory. So if you look at previous, and let me take a chart that goes a little further back. If you look at previous markets, you will find that as long as we are in the green band, hey, we're like, yes, there is a big difference between here and here because the band is moving up. But overall, this is a great area to buy. That was the case in the bull or in the bear market, sorry, of 2012. It was the case in the bear market of 2015-16. It was the case in the bear market of 2019 and 20. And it now also looks like to be the case in the bear market of 2022 and 2023. Now, how long do we usually spend here? Because once we blast out of the green band, it is where the real parabolic bull market actually happens. So if we take a look, when we came in here and when we got out of it, this took like 15 months. In this bear market, it was a bit longer. We got in here and we came out of it here. It was 28 months. Okay, so 2.5 years almost of being in bearish control zone. And again, I mean, in that time we moved from like $200 all the way to $1,600. So we did an 8x. But overall, still that $1,600 turned out to go all the way to $20,000. So even $1,600 was a great level to buy. Nevertheless, 26 months, something like that. And in this period right here, we had it for 24 months, so 2 years. We are now currently, we entered it here. We are now in here for 21 months. So it could definitely be the case that we spend like anywhere between 3 and 6 months on average still in this area. However, that does not mean that it can't be bullish, because even if we now go all the way up to 70K to our previous all-time high, that would still be within the green band. So even if we go to the all-time high or even slightly above it, it still looks on a major level that it is still a buying opportunity. Now, of course, it's better to buy at 50K than at 70K. And if we even go lower, that's even better. These times are done. Like, we're not going back to 15K. At least, I don't know. But I don't expect it to be. Because that's simply just not how the cycle plays out. And of course, it could be different this time. But let's stick with what we have in for now. Now, we are, again, like I said, we are approaching the mid-band right now. Or we are at least at the mid-band. And in this cycle, you at least can see that once we got in it, we tried to get above that mid-band, but we got rejected all the time. Now we got rejected all the time right here as well. And how did that went in the past? Well, in the past, it's also a big level. We have a lot of resistance right here. Once we broke above it, we have more resistance here, by the way, but then we found huge support right there. And in the cycle before that, we are really flirting with that band. Support, resistance, support, resistance, it's all over the place. But that mid band is a super strong level, and as you can see right here as well, a lot of support. So it is a huge level. It looks like we are currently breaking above it. However, don't cheer too soon, because we also did that at the beginning of January, and that turned out to be a fake out. So it could always be a fake out if we close this week below, let's say, $48,500. Therefore, don't go completely wild if you see a candle like this and be like, okay, let's open up all the longs right now, because something like this could happen and then we go down again and it could turn into resistance. Then we always have the bull market support band to support us, which is now coming in at around $40,000, and this thing is moving up quite hard right now, and this should be huge support. So over the longer time frame, it is getting harder and harder for Bitcoin to go back to this $30,000 level. Nevertheless, it is a huge support level that hasn't been retested, right? It was big resistance. As you can see, we had major support over here. We had resistance over here. We had resistance over here. It is a huge level. It's not weird for Bitcoin to have that level as super big resistance, break above it and retest. But we are now going far above it. And now we really have to go down hard to retest that level, because now it is a fall of 40%. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm not saying that it didn't happen before. But the higher we go, the more unlikely it is going to be. But what is going to happen at this level right now? Because 50K, huge resistance, right? But more resistance is coming in at 52K. I think that, you know, this could be a range that we are going to approach right now. Somewhere between, let's say, let's make it like this. Somewhere between, actually 48 and 52 is big resistance for Bitcoin right now, right? And you must understand that now, no matter how bullish things look, we always have drawdowns. We always have resistances. Nothing is up only, of course, although so far it is pretty much up only, right? But we always have these drawdowns in this right here. But, you know, since basically September, we have been going up very hard. Now we are actually, you know, approaching a level right here which should be hard to break. And it wouldn't surprise me if we, you know, try a little bit, maybe spend a couple of weeks right here, get a good rejection, at least back to like, let's say $44,000 while we had this resistance, and then blast through it after the halving. That's a possibility, not a prediction, but that's definitely a realistic option right here. Now let's take a look at the altcoin market in general and some specific altcoins, because overall, the Bitcoin dominance is also going up. So altcoins are still not outperforming Bitcoin, but they go up with Bitcoin. And one altcoin goes up harder than the other. So let's take a look at that. The total crypto market, however, super interesting. We had some resistance right here in this red area. Let me remove this one. We had some resistance right here, and we blasted basically right through it. We found this as support, and it now looks like we're going up even further. Now, where could this go? Overall, the big resistance for the overall crypto market is really coming in at 2 trillion. So that should be this level right here. We're not really there yet. So it looks like we have some steam left to go towards 2 trillion, 2.2 trillion max. And then we could face some good resistance. However, if Bitcoin is already sitting at resistance, it means Bitcoin is not the one that has to do that. So that could be the narrative for the fact that Bitcoin goes down and altcoins go up, right? So that means that the Bitcoin dominance is going down. And if we do to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, it is already sitting at resistance. So it kind of makes sense that that could happen. I don't see, like, if we zoom in on the chart, yeah, we have resistance sitting at where we are right now, but it also looks like we are already kind of breaking that, and then it is a good way up for the rest of the total crypto market. The total 2 as well has a little steam to go up. The total 3, so everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, really, if we do take a look at this, it looks kind of like the total, right? Where we had this massive area of support, like we had resistance right here, we have support right here, we have so much going on in this area. And now we finally broke it, and it looks like we are retesting this area right here, and we bounced off of it. If you are looking at an entry, then this area would be the best entry if we will see it again. And it doesn't take much to see that again, right? It's just going down by 12% somehow or something on the altcoin market. So that's not that weird. The altcoin market, because the total tree is everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, but this is the others chart. This is everything except the top 10. So no USDT, no USDC, no big high cap altcoins, but really the more altcoin market. If we do take a look at this, nothing really spectacular is happening right now. Still, this is a major area of resistance as well, and we are approaching it again. So as you can see, Bitcoin is making new highs. The altcoin market is not making new highs yet. We are not where we were, so altcoins are still lagging, and this is big resistance. I must say that we can better draw it up like this, by the way, because this is actually the big resistance. So we have a big part of resistance to go actually for altcoins to break out, and we are still within this range, right? If you take the red box and the green box, green massive support, red massive resistance. So although the altcoin market could have another leg up in this level right here, it won't surprise me if we just hover in this area for a while, and then later in the year altcoins really break out when we have a real altcoin season. Also, an interesting chart is the USDT dominance. This is mainly the reason why everything is going up. As you can see, USDT is dominating the space less. So it means that people are deploying their USDT into, well, whatever, into the market, right? And we are now sitting basically at the same low as where we were at the beginning of January. If we break that, then we could go down to these levels right here, and it doesn't look like much, and actually it is not that much. It's down with like, let's say 7%, which we had already twice of that move lately, right? So, but that can give us the fuel to actually have that last push up. This should be big support. So if we go down with another 7%, let's take a look right here. So what we did now in the last 2 weeks is, let's say, 14%. And in these last 2 weeks, Bitcoin went up with 20%. So if we now go down with 7%, Bitcoin could maybe go up with 10%, which could put Bitcoin at around like mid $50,000. Although there is no resistance here, it could mean that Bitcoin goes to 52 and the rest of that money is going into the altcoin market that is going to be divided. And that should be huge resistance, as this is huge support as well. And after that, yeah, it could be like if we break, then it's going to be really, really fun. But I don't think we are just going to do this. It looks more likely that we're going to do this, maybe test this again, and then eventually break that. So what are some altcoins that are still worth looking into? Beautiful, exactly 50K, by the way. I got it on screen, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to call somebody. So Ethereum, Ethereum actually looking good. Ethereum, it now looks like, again, it could be a fake out like this, right? But Ethereum is now at least showing the strength, like, hey, this resistance area of, let's say, $2,500, it's being broken. And if we do take a look at where the real resistance for Ethereum comes in, yeah, that's actually somewhere between $2,900 and $3,000, give or take. So it could be that Ethereum is finally going to catch up a little bit, as Ethereum is really lagging. If you look at Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair, it has been going down ever since, well, December 2021. So Ethereum really weak, and it should catch up. Hey, could it go down somewhere to this level eventually? It could definitely happen, for sure, but it doesn't mean we can have bounces along the way. So that's one altcoin that if you really want to play it safe, you can take a look at Ethereum. It's now a better moment to buy than like ever since the last 2 years at least. Looking at the altcoin market, it depends. If you have Bitcoin in your portfolio, which I think would have been a great play if you just bought Bitcoin over the last year, basically, then you can buy altcoins quite cheap, right? If we do take a look at Fomo Factory, for example, I love that project. Yeah, it's sitting at lows, right? It is really sitting at lows. So if you want to buy it with Bitcoin, you can basically buy the lows. If we look at Altora, definitely not sitting at the lows, but hey, I mean, it's a good buying opportunity if you don't want to be too picky about the bottom. Chainlink, same story. It's sitting in the range. It's sitting more at the top than at the downside of the range, so look at that as well, though. But still, Chainlink hasn't broken out yet. Ronin, absolutely fire. What Ronin did is, like, Ronin was also in this range for a long time, and it broke out, went absolutely nuts, and now it's going down, and it looks like it's going to retest this range, right? It could already be that this is the retest right here, but for Ronin, I definitely expect things to go a little bit lower. For the people interested in quant, looks like a very weak altcoin. I have it on my watch list. I like the project for what it does. But the price chart is fully 100% bearish, so I would be really careful with this project because it has been only going down and it hasn't shown any form of strength yet. IMX, beautiful. IMX, IMX also in this range, right? And it looked like it was going to break out, turned out to be a fake out, and now it's sitting at huge resistance. Be careful with that though, because it could go down to lower levels. But overall, IMX still in a range. Trader Joe, don't talk about that too much, but also, like, oh my God, can we draw something that makes sense right here? Yeah, kind of, right? Trader Joe is like sitting at lows right here. The highs are getting lower though, so not much strength. Matic in big danger zone, to be honest. If we do take a look at Matic on its Bitcoin pair, then yeah, this makes quite some sense. It is not looking that fantastic. Also shown a lot of weakness in basically the complete last year. Either this is a beautiful buying opportunity for Matic, or it breaks it this time and it's going to get wrecked fucking hard, like, because there's nothing here, right? So either we bounce and it has a beautiful bounce, or we go down and it could go down with 65% against Bitcoin, right? Can you imagine if Bitcoin has a small correction as well? AVAX, look, I mean, this is also a beautiful example of an altcoin that's shown strength, and these are the altcoins you want to take a look at. However, buying it right now, yeah, maybe, I mean, just DCA, right? But these are all on the Bitcoin pairs. If you do take a look at altcoins on the dollar pairs, like, wow, Superverse breaking resistance after resistance after resistance. It is absolutely crushing it. And I mean, it's over $1 right now. I have most of my buys at 9 cents. So that's beautiful. It was in this range. It gave us an opportunity to buy anywhere between 56 cents and 74 cents. But after such a pump, I felt like, yeah, that's quite high. I bought some. But it looked like, hey, it was going into the next range, but that's also broken. So it is in complete price discovery. And I must say that with Super, this could be like a range right now. So it maybe can go up all the way to 120 and just have a huge range from this point on. So Super, if you have it in your portfolio, depending on where you bought it, take some profits, of course. But if you haven't bought it yet, Yeah, buying it now after what did it do? A 15x or so. I will be a little careful with that. Beam, damn. Um, I love this. I love this. So Beam was also ranging, and it's now breaking out. What I think is important for Beam is that if it goes down, it tests that 2.76 cent level. That's the level where we had this resistance. Let's see if it can flip into support. But overall, I think that Beam is for the long term a great buy. A low cap SNFTS. I said on the channel before, like guys, if you look at where the bull market support band comes in and the 0.618 retracement, that's here, right? Great buy. Now it bounced from that level and it's sitting at the 0.5. We could see some resistance right here. If it breaks, however, then it can go up way higher than where it is right now. But it is now finally showing strength. So that's looking really good. Some other interesting altcoins. I've been trading Illumia Crown, low cap, great looking game, man. And I love this. I absolutely love this. But I made quite some money with this. So I sold a big part of my position. For the long term, still interesting though. But yeah, if you look where it came from, then maybe be a little careful. Falcon Forged is... this is the prime example of how ranges work, in my opinion. If you look at Foco Forge, it was ranging for so long between $2.50 and $5. It broke out, and I said, like, guys, wait for the retest. And it looked like, hey, the retest is never coming, and it keeps on going up. And finally, it retested this level, and perfectly how it bounced right here. So this is a confirmed range, right? And now the range is anywhere between $9 and $5.20, give or take. So again, big range. But hey, keep in mind, this was also a big range. It was beautiful to trade. Buy low, sell high. And maybe Focal Forge is giving us that same opportunity right now. So if you buy anywhere in the lower $6, upper $5, could be a great buy. IMX, great. Mooning, doing absolutely fantastic. Now, I must say, I'm waiting for this to pull off a Falcon Forge, right? Where it just retests this level. Will it happen? Hey, that's never a guarantee, but this is like, it went up like really hard. Like, let's wait for a good correction on this one. Cetify, yeah, as fun. Man. I don't know what to make of this with S-Fund actually. If you manage to buy S-Fund anywhere around $2.50, I think you are doing very well. Let me put it like that. AVAX, yeah, facing some big resistance right now. Facing some big resistance right now, to be honest. If you look at this whole area, basically, right? This whole area of this is a huge range. Okay, this doesn't even make sense anymore. Let me put it on. Look, yeah, now this is a huge range, but look at all this shit that's going on right here, right? So it has a lot of room anywhere between $30 and $50. But you know, if we really break out of this $53 range, it could have a big run. It really could have a big run. So let's see what it does. Solana ripping again. I don't have a Solana position at the moment. Took some profits on it and I sold everything. Sold too early, to be honest. But again, I put that money into something else and made profit on that. So I didn't miss out on anything. I don't have a Solana position right now. And I am not even considering buying Solana. It could go to $500 maybe, but that's a lot of risk for like a 4x right there. And that's not worth it in my opinion. There are way better plays. Because if you look at how hard Solana was ripping, then, and considering how high cap it is, right? If a low cap does this, it's already like, wow, nice. But Solana, right? I feel like, man, going back to $70 at least is doable. And it kind of already did, right? So it showed like, hey, this is possible, these retraces. Chain GPT is ripping. is ripping, man. It is crazy. And I think it is mostly ripping, and it continues to rip because now the pre-sale vestings are over. So if you participated in the pre-sale like I did on CDeFi, Engine Start, or whatever, the vestings are now over. So these people now stop dumping, right? So there's a lot of selling pressure gone right now, and that made it like, give it that big spike right there. So Chain GPT, I don't know, man. Could go to $1 for sure. By the way, in the bull market, it has the hype, it has the product, it has the tokenomics, it has it all. Chain GPT, really nice. I have it back myself, and I'm not selling it. I want to keep it for when the bull market really hits and to see what this thing does. Because ChainGPT is, in my opinion, it currently has a $80-90 million market cap. This could be a $1 billion project for sure. Now, some other projects that I think are quite interesting. Altera is lagging a little bit, but that's only because it already had that, premature run, right? When nothing like Bitcoin was running right here, and some altcoins, but most altcoins were catching up in the second half of 2023. Altera already did that basically, and overall it is sitting 8x from the bottom, and it went all the way to 11x. So yeah, lagging is not really the right word for this. It's just, steady low, higher lows, and I don't know. The product is good, and it could be a fantastic buy in my opinion. Spartadex still a project that I really love. It's all over the place today, but hey, these altcoins pump all over the place as well. Domi Online. Yeah, man. Look what it did. It did a 35x, and it's now sitting at a 22x or so. So still, it will never go back to these levels unless something is broken, right? Then it might go back to those levels. But overall, dangerous coin, in my opinion. It could rip really hard and it could dump really hard. So I have a position in this, but I think it's free. Now, it's not completely free, and I haven't been trading it really fantastic, but I bought at 6 cents, 4 cents, 3.5 cents, 2.3 cents, and I just sold and took some profits at 5.5 cents because I noticed that my first entry wasn't great, and it took a lot for me to play even and to be in profit. So now I was finally $1,500 in profit. So I just took that $1,500 out of it, and I want this to be a free bag, but it has to go up a little bit harder than this. So I'm gonna just DCA out of this a little bit. This is not that I feel like. It's a single game. I'm careful with that when it comes to the long term. Actually, games for a living. By the way, this is beautiful. Actually beautiful, because games for a living, it was like ripping. Games for a living, everybody was talking about this. I was in the pre-sale, made some good money on this, and this is also beautiful, right? It was in this range right here, it broke, then it was into this range right here, it broke, and it broke in October 2023, and finally in January this year it retested, and now it looks like it's retesting again. This area could be a great buying opportunity. If this breaks to the downside, it could go to like 2 cents again. It is a good product. It has a fantastic team as well. So don't fade games for a living, because, hey, the price momentum is a little over right now, and therefore the hype is a little over. But the product hasn't changed, right? And that's why you rather want to buy here than here. Like, people bought here crazy, and they're not buying here right now. Like, that's the psychology of all of this, right? Be the one that flips that. Be the one that knows, like, hey, it's still a good product, still the same team, right? But just a cheaper price. Hey, be there when nobody else is there. Other than that, I have Injective on my watch list. It's funny that I made a portfolio in October 2022 where I just, you know, I wrote down some coins from my watch list, and Injective was there as well in my high risk portfolio. And I was just looking like October, what was Injective back then? And it was like 150 or so, and I didn't even buy it. I don't know why. Could have made a clean 20x out of that. So I somehow I was interested in it and I forgot it. So too bad for me, not buying it right now. To be honest, this is one of those coins like just like Gaspa, right? It's one of those coins that I feel like, you know, it could still go up, but I'm not gonna let my feelings lead the way right here. Like, look what this chart did. Like, I'm too late. Let's admit that we're too late and we can't catch them all, right? So let's move on to the next one. Fuck it, I missed out. So what? Right? There are a lot of coins that I did not miss out on and that are doing fantastic and will do fantastic. Playable games as well, man. A gaming studio built on AVAX. This is the crypto cheat code, man. Not saying that playable games will do great, but the narratives, man, the narratives, it's kind of obvious to me. So playable games now sitting at 0.005. It came from 0.01, right? So it's now already down 50% from where it came, and it already went down 66%, right? So I must say that if you can catch it anywhere in this region, actually, it could be a good buy. However, if it breaks, then it's goodbye. Then it's actually going to 2, right? But if that happens, I don't know what the reason would be for it. But if that happens, please note, like, okay, the buying opportunity that we get here is incredible, right? It is actually incredible. So keep this on your radar. I would say like a chart like this is a chart that you maybe don't want to act on necessarily right away, right? It looks like, oh, okay, it could go up, could go down, could like, it's a little undecided right now. Let's see which direction it goes. If it goes up completely hard, hey, then okay, just look at it like, ah, fuck it, I missed out on that one, right? But you also don't really want to risk going down another 60%. If you feel like, yeah, whatever, if I'm just dollar costing, then just dollar cost already, right? Over the long term, should be a good one. Senate is, also, man, if you look what it did from the bottom until where we all the way came, like it did an 18x and we're now currently sitting at a 10x. If it could come down to this level, that would be great because then it's just like a 6x or so. When I look at a chart like this, like if you zoom out, then it's nothing, right? But, market caps, like there are way more tokens here than there were over here. So could Senate ever go back to like $7? Nothing is impossible, but hey, I doubt it. I actually really doubt it. Ultra, I tweeted like, I still feel like Ultra will make a comeback. It has the narratives of infrastructure in crypto gaming, and it hasn't done shit yet. Now, I must say that once Portal comes out, there's gonna be some huge competition for Ultra, but it doesn't mean they cannot both coexist, right? But Portal seems to be better in any way, as far as we already know, at least. But yeah, now Ultra. Lower highs, lower lows. It is lagging in this market when everything else is pumping. But again, it is like in this same range since November 2022, right? So it looks like this is a steady support range and this could be a fantastic buying opportunity. If you look at the chart, if you like Ultra, then if you're not buying it here, then where are you actually? So this is a project that I feel like, okay, it's a little high risk at the moment, but it could have some, decent rewards as well. If we do take a look, this is not my, like, this is a list where I just throw everything in, whether I'm interested in or not. Myria is actually, it is gaining some momentum again, so that's a good thing. I think that Miria is a very good project, but the tokenomics are just not that well, because people that are running nodes are, they continue to dump on you, right? Market cap $100 million, give or take, fully diluted 500, so it still has a 5-time token vesting. It's not that much, especially considering that there is probably a bull market ahead of us. Probably like super likely. And if you look at it like a layer 2, a gaming studio, complete infrastructure for crypto gaming, yeah, then it has that actually easy, that 10x possibility. But yeah, in all honesty, I run a node and I get these tokens for free. So I'm not buying this on the open market, because every day I get a little tokens from Miria. So for me, it's like, hey, it's free money. I'm also not selling my tokens, by the way. If it does a 10x, I have a nice bag of money. If it does nothing, then I also haven't lost anything, really, except the entry for the nodes. But hey, whatever. But yeah, Miria is interesting, and I can go on and on and on. There are like these lower caps, like Compete, for example, really an underestimated game, in my opinion. Polis, Star Atlas, right? Also a project that I feel like could do really well. It kind of already did an 5x from the bottom, sitting at some big resistance right now. Sol is I haven't really spoken much about this one, but this is a crypto gaming layer 1 basically, but it's just not, it's not getting off of the ground, so I would not waste too much time on this. Forgive me if it does pump though. Illuvium also, if you're interested in that. I'm not, right? Also, look at the chart. You might be like, oh, great buying opportunity. It is already like almost at the all-time high. Like there were no tokens in circulation right here, and there are so many in circulation right here. So it will, it will probably never go back to this level. Like a 20x from where we are right now. Let's be real. Like there are people expecting that, and I hope some of these people watch this video. Because a 20x from this point would mean a $10 billion market cap, right? The highest it went was $1 billion, right? So that would mean that it actually goes 10 times, above the all-time high that we had at the top of the bull run last time. Not saying that it's not possible, but I wouldn't bet my money on it, really. So I want to leave it here. Just wanted to go over some specific coins right now. Actually, in this video on my view on the market. By the way, Gala, also a coin that I feel like this. There are some coins. Like some people ask, like, hey, what about VeChain? What about whatever? Like, what about Aave? What about, well, Gala is in the same boat. I think that these are these coins, like, they were great last cycle, and there will be better ones that will replace them for this cycle. And I think Gala is one of those coins that is going to get replaced, because it shows weakness all over the chart. While if you actually take a look at, like I said, Miria, hey, come on, man. So don't spend too much time looking at these coins and be like, oh, look how low we are, right? There is a reason why this is still low and the rest is high. So be a little careful with those kind of things. It's better, in my opinion, to buy a Miria at higher levels than to buy a Gala at lower levels, right? Because, well, because of what I just explained, basically. It's taking way too long again. That's gonna be timestamps. Thanks for watching, man. If you appreciate the content, like the video. I will soon do a video about new projects coming out, because these are all projects already on the open market. Can make a nice 10, maybe 20x out of it, but where are the 100x's? New projects, so let's focus on that as well. For now, if you're new and you feel like, hey, I kind of like this content, subscribe, join the family. We are on the way to 30,000 subscribers. The goal is to reach 100K by the end of the next bull run. Should be possible. All I need is your click on that subscribe button. Will help me a lot, and I will promise that I will help you a lot. Take care.